Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We're in week number 1 tonight. We have a very interesting match tonight. Aridus Moop, welcome to the stream. Moop says, hey, wait a minute, I recognize one of my players getting stepped on and dying there. Yep. Very, very interesting matchup for you tonight. It'll be the final game of week number 1 here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. Tonight, we've got Philosopher's Song versus the Purple People Eaters. Spire versus Sano. Sano? I'm gonna go with Sano for now, until I'm corrected. Lizards versus Chaos Chosen. Not just any Chosen, the Chosen of Corn. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the two teams here this evening. In Division A, currently in first place is the NC Snakes, coached by Moob. They're a Dark Elf team. They're 1-0-0 this week. James likes Snex's World of Cheese. They're an Elven Union team. They are in second place with War Horsemen's Wasabazons in third. They are an Amazon team. Over in Division B, the Discomancers are in first place. That's Ian's Necromantic Horror team, followed very closely behind by the Vesuvian Lavabacks, Berserker Tempest, Lizardman team, tied for second place with Clypheus's Odin and Snuffle. They're a Norse team. And in Division C, that's where we're going to be tonight, the final game of the week. Ajax's the Fishy Fiends, currently in first place. They're a Chaos Renegades team with Old Gamer Mike's Goodest Boys Strike Back in second with their win against Technobabble Inc. earlier this evening. I have a fun story for you. Technobabble Inc. lost so hard that their TV, lower than the Goblins TV and just barely higher than the Halflings TV. Oh boy. The Birds of a Feather, coached by Galeshi, they're an Elven Union team. They're in third place here in Division C. First up, we're going to be the home team this evening, Philosopher's Song, coming in a TV of 1,050,000 gold. However, they're down a couple of players, and both of those are Saurus blockers, believe it or not. That's going to bring their effective TV up to 1,170,000 gold. They have the big guy, the Crocs. They have 4 of their 6 Saurus blockers. They have a Chameleon Skink, and then the rest, of course, are the Skink Linemen, 1 Apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against a rookie, or not rookie, but a brand new Chaos Chosen team here, coached by league newcomer Sano. The Purple People Eaters, they have 11 players on the roster, a dead even 1 million gold in TV. Spire says, BB.net did a number on me in the playoffs. Yeah, it happens. 4 Chosen blockers on the roster. The rest are a bunch of beastmen. 1 dedicated fan, 3 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Let's talk about the Lizard team first. As Spire alluded to, not alluded to, but directly stated. Big injuries here going into week number 1 of the Spike Magazine Trophy. They've lost 2 of their Saurus blockers. They have an injury on number 6 that brings their MA from a 6 to a 5. They're still rostered, however. Losing those 2 Saurus blockers is going to hurt in this matchup, I think. You can see they have Strength 5 on the Crocs, Strength 4 on the Saurus blockers, but everybody else is a 2+, and the linemen are Skinks. That means the 2 journeymen are going to have to be Skinks as well. So most of the roster here tonight are going to be Skinks. 2, of course, are going to be loners. That's going to be really tricky, right? So the advantage that this Lizard team has against the Chaos team is, of course, in this speed and I was going to say agility, but agility in terms of skills, I should say. Speed and agility with these Skink players. MA8, very, very fast. The Chameleon has MA7, but also has on the ball, so on passes and kicks. Look at a free 3 movement. They have also a sneaky get, so they're the Fowler on this roster. Random into a safe pair of hands with Descartes here, the number 10 Skink Runner, and I think that might actually make this Skink Runner the ball carrier tonight. With so many Skinks on the pitch, Spire has to be preparing to lose a number of players as this game goes on, and a safe pair of hands is going to be able to keep that ball a little more safe, right? So if Descartes gets knocked down, what Spire will be able to do is says, all right, well, if Descartes is the ball carrier, he gets knocked down, I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to put it where I want rather than it randomly bouncing. That can be a way to keep that ball out of the hands of the opponent, or put that ball in a position where Philosopher's Song will be able to grab that ball and continue their drive on offense. Very, very, very tricky matchup, I think, because with the Purple People Eaters, so this is a Chaos team, they're a kill team. They're weakest at low TV, in my opinion. So not a lot of skills on this roster, no block to speak of. How much block was on the Philosopher's Song roster? So they do have an advantage with the block skill. just the 2 players, but that's more than the opponent. The opponent tonight has all 4 of their I was going to say Saurus blockers, not the Saurus blockers, the Chosen blockers. The Chosen blockers, of course, are, Moob says, it's funny how useful safe pair of hands can be for a skill that will never be picked intentionally. Yes, indeed. The Chosen blockers are like the Saurus blockers. They have a strength of 4, but no skills to speak of. MA5, they're a little bit slower as well. AV10 plus, of course, is great. The Beastmen runners, these are decent pieces here. MA6, strength 3, edge 3. This is all great. But they also have horns. That means if they're blitzing, they're going to effectively be strength 4. That means 5 pieces. So long as a Beastman is blitzing, 5 pieces are going to have strength 4. That's a pretty decent strength advantage against the Lizard team. And the Purple People Eaters, I think, are going to lean into that and go hunting for skinks. They've got to start murdering those skinks. If those skinks come off the pitch, then Philosopher's Song has nobody that can handle the ball this evening. I think that's going to be the goal, and that is going to mean this matchup is going to be a little bit of a control matchup, I think, because it's going to come down to where these high strength plate pieces are. Those are going to be the guys that are protecting the skinks, and the Purple People Eaters, with their Chosen blockers, they're going to have to decide, am I going to go toe-to-toe with a Saurus? Am I going to try to leverage that for the 2-die block against a skink? Am I going to use that to just screen out the defense and maybe take control of a wide zone or something? Remember, the skinks are a strength of 2. With a strength of 4, 1 assist is giving you 3 dice on those skinks. That's very, very strong. The Purple People Eaters, of course, will lean into that, but what they have to be careful of course, is that speed advantage that the Lizardman team has. If they open up a lane and they're able to hold, or what's the word I want? What's the phrase I want? If they're able to protect the ball carrier, we'll say. If they're able to protect the ball carrier for just a turn by putting players in front of the ball carrier and the defense, or perhaps the offense, then they'll be able to break away and head for daylight, right? If there's nobody in front of them, MA8 versus MA6, these Beastmen will not be able to catch them. So 1 or 2 Beastmen will have to be in the secondary in the safety position on defense. And if that's the case, then you have to be real careful at the line of scrimmage, right? So when you think about setting up your defensive formation, if you want to go toe-to-toe right at the line of scrimmage, that's great, but then you've got nothing in the secondary. And if you're up against a faster team and they break 3, they get behind you, you might not be able to catch them. That means you need to pull people off the line, put them in the secondary. But the more people you're putting in the secondary, the less people you have at the line to defend the line of scrimmage, and that means that the running game can be much more effective. So it's going to be a little bit of a chess match. It's going to be a little bit of a control matchup, I think, tonight, to see who comes out on top. A very interesting matchup, in my opinion. This is going to be a lot of fun to see. I also am very excited to see a new Chaos team start to level up and get their kill skills and see how effective they might be in the new rule set. I haven't seen Chaos since BB 2020 released, so I'm very excited to see this. All right, we look to have clear skies here for this final game in week number 1. What is that a potato? Or is that bread? What is that? What is this camera angle? That's right, blood for the blood god. Let's go. Somebody really needs to mow the lawn. I mean, that's just atrocious. That's just, come on. Show a little pride in your arena. Here's the coin toss. Philosopher's Song is going to win the coin toss. They are going to choose to be on offense. Purple People Eaters to set up their defense. Something I always like to point out when it happens in the league. Look at this. We've got a PC player versus a console player. Very exciting. I'd love to see it. Lots of avenues to play Blood Bowl. You can play it on PC. You can play it on the various consoles. You can play it in tabletop form too. Elden Arena says, with no tackle out there, dodge could be really huge for Spire tonight. Indeed. Eric says I'm on PS5. That's awesome. And on Tabletop Tool. That's cool. Socrates, the number 9 lineman here, is a blodger, so only a pal is going to knock down the skink runner. No tackle on the opposing team to negate that dodge skill. Iron Cynic says, I'm on Xbox. That's cool. All right, 2 back to receive here. No kicker, of course, on this fresh Chaos team. Here's the kick. Chameleon Skink can get onto the ball here. Von Rue with the raid. Thank you very, very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Raiders, to our final game of week number 1 here today. Yeah, let's go. The prayer to Nuffle. Friends with the ref. You can argue the call on a 1/3 rather than a 1/6. Welcome to the stream, Raiders. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling Leagues. Mauling League. We're in the second competition of our season, and it is the first week of that competition. The final week, the final game here in week number 1. 2-9 blitz to get things started. Gets a knockdown on a human. I swear, the number 11 Beastman over in the left wide zone. 2-die block now on the left defensive end. Gets a pal against Gort. 9+ to break armor. Right defensive end's going to get knocked down as well. Remember, 2 of the players on this Lizard roster are journeymen. Number 3 and number 4, both journeymen on the roster. That means if they want to use a team reroll, they have to spend it first, then they roll a d6 on a 4+, they get to use it. Otherwise, they lose it. Good 3+ pickup. Yes, indeed. We talked about this in the pregame. Descartes, the ball carrier, the number 10 lineman there with that safe pair of hands skill that that they random into. May very well end up very useful in tonight's game due to the injuries Philosopher's Song has sustained. Final block on the line is going to be a knockdown by the Crocs. No armor break, but has Mighty Blow, so that's a +1 to your armor or your injury roll, whichever you need it for. Yeah, crossplay is really cool. One of my favorite fighting games ever was Killer Instinct 2013, and that was exclusive to the Xbox One, which pretty much just killed the game, which is so sad because the game's brilliant. So I very much appreciate crossplay. Purple People Eaters getting very aggressive here over on the right side of the pitch, taking a mark behind Schlegel, the number 7 Saurus, and the number 9 Skink Runner Socrates. Remember, Socrates the blodger. You need a POW in order to knock Socrates down. One minute to go here in turn number 1. Elder Reader asks, which pitch is this? I like the little flags. I don't know. I have no idea. It looks underworldy, but it's not. Oh, is it the halfling pitch? Blitz in the left wide zone results in a push. Purple People Eater is getting very aggressive here, leaving at least one player, Zoran, the number 5 Beastman, in the secondary. Going to pull up that other chosen blocker, Emi. Emi, the number 1 chosen blocker, is going to come to the line of scrimmage. Now turn 2 for Philosopher's Song. They have the ball on their own 12-yard line, just outside the left wide zone. 2-die block to get things started against a human, I swear. Gets the POW here, no armor break. Continues to reposition Hegel the Blitzer. Back over to the right side of the pitch. The ball is going to move forward to the 6. Staying at center pitch here. 2-die block on the left defensive end once more here. Gort's going to get knocked down. Remember, once again, strength 4 and an assist for the Chaos team would be a 3-die block against a skink. Team reroll after double skulls here. Gets the knockdown on Argoba? Argoba. 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 Oh, Argoba. 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 It's your debut. Oh, R.I.P., buddy. R.I.P. Rest in many, many pieces. Argo, bye-bye. DED dead, that's right. 10 seconds left on the clock here for a Philosopher's song. Trying to push these lizards out of center pitch. That's right. Murdered. Oh. The number 4 journeyman going to move over to the right side here to lend an assist for Socrates. So currently that negates that blitz strength. It's going to go for the 2-die block here. So this is something that we've talked about before. We haven't talked about in this game yet. Setting up the 2-die block, safer to do that than try to dodge away often in the game of Blood Bowl, all things being equal, right? We'll talk about, say, an elf team trying to dodge away. If you can get the 2-die block, you're beating up your opponent, right? And your odds are greater, provided you have the block skill. 2-die, turn 2 for the Purple People Eaters now. Minute 6 on the clock here. Standing up the Beastman over on the right side to get the assist against Schlegel. It's now 5v4. These blocks are pretty scary with the Chaos team as they have nobody with the block skill. 2-die blitz against Hume gets the knockdown. Hume with a broken knee. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Big 10 plus. Boxcars rolled on the 10 plus. Lugs in, crosses the line of scrimmage on the right side. 19 seconds to go here in the turn. Purple People Eaters still holding on to all 3 rerolls. Very aggressive defense here. Taking marks. Still leaving just the one safety in position. Finally takes that 2-die block over in the right wide zone. Gets a push out of this. And the safety's going to come up and cover the right side here. So we may see the Lizards try to move left. They can also try to punch through here. But the Chaos team still has a pretty decent contingent on the left side here. 2-die blitz against Lugs in here to start turn number 3. Gets the POW. No armor break. So now there is a gap. There is a gap in this direction, but there are a bunch of Chaos players. I got to be real careful with that drug. That's a percent side. Don't worry, that's a percent side. There is a gap on the right side, but it'd be a little difficult to keep the ball safe. Yeah, he's not gonna try to shoot for the moon here. He's gonna move the ball one space back, continue to keep this protective formation intact. Nope, percentages. It's just percentages. It's just division. That's all it is. Sends a reroll here for double pals after rolling 2 skulls. Gets the knockdown. Looking for a 10+ against Eni. And got it. Got the armor break. Gets the removal. 2-man player advantage now for this Lizard team. So Philosopher's Song controlling center pitch here pretty effectively. And they're back on the bonus clock. Oh, didn't quite dip into the bonus clock. You get 7 minutes 30 seconds for the duration of the game. If you run out of you get 2 minutes per turn. If you run out of that time, you can dip into that bonus clock. Oh, little rat go. Ducking and weaving. Takes a mark on the right side here. Nietzsche is dead. Nuffle's famous quote. The number 11 skink lineman covering the ball carrier on the right side mark, as is Socrates. Takes a mark against Hegel as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we see a rush blitz on the ball carrier. What do we have over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we won't. 2-die blitz against Socrates. Needs a pal. Doesn't get it. Remember, that's a strength of 4 due to horns. Gets a push. Follows up. Continues to mark these 2 skinks on the right side. So the defense closing in on the offense. Boot Polish says, still proud I killed Nietzsche. Turn 4 for Philosopher's Song. I don't even know who's left alive on my team. It was a massacre. I know I have my ogre. I know I lost my catcher. I don't have my thrower. I think I'm down a blitzer, maybe 2. Dude, I block against Mo, the number 4 chaos or chosen blocker. Gonna get a push and push that blocker over to the left wide zone. Andy Bruno says, I will forever pronounce Socrates as Socrates, a la Bill and Ted. 2-dive block against Gort here across the line of scrimmage. Another double push here. One minute to go here in turn 4. 2-dive block results in a POW against Ugba, the number 6 beastman. Ugba breaks armor. Gets a stun. Surprised it wasn't more than a stun considering this big iron ring in the middle of the pitch. Both teams doing a very good job here of identifying their 2-die blocks and taking it. Still haven't seen a 3-die block on a skink yet by the Chaos team. And there's the breakaway. Philosopher's Song is going to move that ball across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 6-yard line. Taking advantage of the stunned beastman. Good reposition with the Crocs here. Moves Crocs to the left side. The Crocs, of course, as a big guy, has a negative trait. That negative trait is boneheaded. Every time this Croc activates, you roll a d6. On a 1, he loses his tackle zones. He loses his activations. Free reroll here with the dodge skill. Hey, look at that! Didn't crash the game. Hooray! Good 3+ dodge. All right. So you can see what Philosopher's Song is doing here. So they've got their cage set up here, right? They've got some points on the cage. But they've also got this guy here. They're all set up to continue to move the ball down pitch. Maybe here, maybe here. When you're on offense and you have your goal is to run the ball into the end zone, not only do you have to keep the ball safe, you want to make sure that you're controlling pitch in such a way that you have a place to put the ball. Often, when you're a running team, that means that you've got your cage set up and you're already setting up sort of the skeleton of another cage for the next turn. One minute, 6 seconds left in the first quarter of this game. Philosopher's Song down to 1 reroll for the half. 2-die blitz on Socrates. Got the pal here. Needs an 8+ to break armor. No armor break. Remember, again, Socrates has a blodger. It means that only a pal will knock down Socrates. Purple People Eater's colors were the colors of my high school. $20 seconds left on the clock as a 2-die block is taken against the number 3 Journeyman. Gets a push. Two-die block against Kant. Gets the pal here. So the offense, or the defense, suddenly behind the ball. They're taking blocks, but not really able to get in front of the offense here to start the second quarter of this game. Philosopher's Song will have a free opportunity to move this ball wherever they like. They have a number of players who are free to move as well. This may mean that the Purple People Eaters are going to try to force the score early, but we'll see what they decide to do here. They might just give up the touchdown and try to get removals. Ball's going to move over just outside that left wide zone on the opposing 8-yard line. So Philosopher's Song not overcommitting, keeping their movement options open, and trying not to give up this ball too early to the defense. Two-die block against Mo, way back behind the line of scrimmage, gets the knockdown here. Lots of armor on these strength 4 pieces. For each team, they have an armor of 10+. It can be fairly hard to break. The Skinks, however, not so hard to break their armor. Two-die block back at the line of scrimmage on the right side this time, gets a push. Is Spire going to rely on the dodge here? Yes, indeed. Got the dodge. Well done. Socrates to fill in that front left corner of the cage. Turn 5 now for the Purple People Eaters. Elder Bruno says, I thought we'd see more fouls considering the Lizards have both Sneaky Git and the Prayer. Yeah, I think with nobody on your bench, it's a little more it's more of a consideration, right? Like you don't want to just lose a player on a foul that doesn't get you that much value in return, right? So like if I lose a skink, I'm losing movement, I'm losing a piece, right? I'm losing assists. Who am I fouling that makes that worth it, you know? Did I blitz with horns? Gets the push here. Without the block skill, I think this Chaos team at some point will really be looking for those 3-die blocks. It's just so scary to roll 2 dice without the block skill. It's so scary. 2-die against the number 4 Journeyman over on the right side of the cage. Gets a push here. Mo, the number 4 chosen blocker, stands up and moves a couple of spaces back toward the cage. I doubt he'll get back into the strive. 3 MA to stand up. With an MA of 5, it means 2 effective points of movement for the Chaos blockers. Turn 6 now for Philosopher's Song. Very effective offense so far this turn. The defense got pretty aggressive here right out of the gate. They had 1 player in the secondary. Philosopher's Song got that stun, was able to open up that lane, funnel players through, and they got behind the defense. 2-die block against Gort, the number 10 Beast Runner. Gets a push. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the inducements, did we? It was 170k in petty cash. I have no idea what the inducements were. Good block by the ball carrier. Bias ref and a K, so he picked up. Could have picked up Cindy, right? Or not Cindy. Could have picked up Helmet Wolf was an option, I think. Iron Cynic says, bias ref is the answer to why no fouls. Sure. Sure. Elder Reno says, Helmet has done nothing for me since they turned him into a human. The Blood Bowl 2 Goblin version was much better. Good 3+ dodge over to the right side of the offensive formation. Getting another assist against Lugzin, the number 9 Beastman. Blitz still on the table. Socrates blitz perhaps. Here it is. 2-die blitz. Gets the pal. Looking for a 9+. Gets the armor break. Gets a good stun. Very well done here by Philosopher's Song. They'll reposition that blitzer. Well done. Turn 6 back to the Purple People Eaters. So now they've pinned Lugs into the sideline, but might not even need to worry about that with that stun. The defense well behind this ball at this point. They've got to find a way to get back in front of this ball, or else the Lizards are just going to score. They're already in scoring position. Remember, MA8 is a lot. Four spaces downfield means they're 1 rush away from scoring currently. Blitz on Socrates. Got the pal, but no armor break. Blitz. So obviously Socrates is a very important piece here as a blodger, but in terms of block or blitz targets, kind of a scary proposition, right? Because your odds of, say, knocking down this guy or removing this guy, right, are greater than removing Socrates, because Socrates, it's a 1 in 6 on a single die to knock him down, then you've got to roll the armor break. But of course, if you could remove him, that's a huge piece that you've removed from this lizard team. Taking some marks behind the ball. Going to try to stop some players from joining the offense here. Turn 7 now for Philosopher's Song. They will have to end this turn in scoring position. They're already there. They'll probably want a little more comfort. They don't want to be in rushing range on turn 7 if they can't, or if they can help it at all, which of course they can. They want to be a little bit closer. Probably going to center pitch here. This is going to give them as many movement options as possible. Yeah. So they can go this way, but they have these skinks are so fast that they can also swing out laterally to score, right? Just lots of movement options. Having lots of movement options means that the defense has a lot more ground to cover to stop you from getting to where you want to go. Lots of free players to reposition here. It has the tight 4-point cage on the opposing 20-yard line now. It's going to be very, very difficult to stop this score. I think if the Chaos team kept a little more, a few more players in the secondary, they might have been able to mount a response to this. Because, well, in fact, I think with a few more, maybe just 1 or 2 more players in the secondary, Philosopher's Song would have had to think twice about exploiting that stunned player to break through the hole they opened. Philosopher's Song back on the bonus clock. 6 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. Almost double skulls here. Gonna use their team reroll on turn 7. Why not? Double skulls into double pals and an armor break. Got the KO. 3-man player advantage now for Philosopher's Song. Double pals once again against the number 2 chosen blocker. Turn 7 for the Purple People Eaters. Number 10, Beastman Gort stands up, takes a mark on Hegel. It's not going to matter too much. Going into turn 8, we know that the Philosopher's Song is going to score on turn 8. So the object here is to stop the score, and if you can't stop the score, try to get a player advantage for the game. Barring that, then play more strategically rather than tactically and try to get SPP to level up your team. Whoa! Oh! What a move! Spent the reroll to try to get the knockdown, only gets a dodge push out of this. Was that a 3+ to a 6? Oh, man. Tried to stop the score here with the big time play. Kept the drive alive. Spent the team reroll looking for that knockdown. Didn't quite get it. Holy moly. No rerolls left for Philosopher's Song. I don't think they're going to risk anything here. Double rushes here to try to stop the score here. Very well done here by Sano. Got the mark on the ball carrier on the left. Tries to cover the right side here as well. Oh, he is going to roll dice. Oh, gets a pal. Looking for an 8+ with Mighty Blow. Doesn't get it. And that's going to clear the ball carrier. 1-0 the score. Very well played by both coaches there. Very, very well done. Are those potatoes in that halfling helmet I saw? One turn left in the half unless there's a timeout. Iron Cynic says you miss 100% of the 6 pluses you don't take. One turn left in the half, of course, unless there's a timeout. If there's a timeout, then this Chaos team will have an opportunity to get on the board here at the end of the half. Going into the second half down a touchdown means you have a decision to make, and you have to make it fairly quickly. Are you going to play for the draw or are you going to play for the win? I think in this case, we might see the Chaos team trying to play for the draw. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. After that gutsy play, maybe Santa's going to try to play for the win here, but 3 skinks on the line. Everybody else back to safety. Purple People Eaters currently with 5 on the line. If there is no timeout, their job is going to be to try to remove some skinks. They got back all their KOs here, which is good news for them. They'll be down just a player going into the second half. Unless something crazy happens here. Three-die block set up against the Journeyman, number 4, the left defensive end currently. And now 3-die set up, well, 3-die was already set up over on the right side. Moob says, need to have a league special rule. Every team gets 10K extra gold, but has to have a cheerleader for TD dances. That is, you know what? In all honesty, not a bad rule. I don't even need to do that. I could just give everyone a cheerleader. I kind of like that. Solid defense here. Rolls a 3 on the D3. Not going to leverage it. Doesn't want to put anybody in danger. So just looking for some SPP. Looking for some removals. 3-die block on the right side here. The number 3 Journeyman's going to get knocked down. Can he get the 8+ to get 2 SPP? No. So the 8+ doesn't guarantee the SPP. You got to get an injury. You got to roll on the injury table. Or roll on the casualty table, I should say. Repositions the Beastman on the right side to make this 3-die block. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. We'll see if that KO sticks for the second half. Iron Cynic says, better yet, give everyone 6 cheerleaders. Really fell off the sideline. So props to Malik. Malik's a coach in the league. Bought 12 cheerleaders for my benefit. It was awesome. It certainly wasn't for their benefit. 3-die block gets the number 4. Journeyman gets a knockdown, but no armor break. So as it stands, it'll be 10v10 for the second half unless we see a foul. I doubt we will. Well, maybe we will. Otherwise, I think it's going to try to pass this ball for some SPP. Oh, he's going to try to pass with the Chaos Chosen blocker. Do it. Let's go. I want to see this pass. Get it. I believe. I shouldn't have. Snake Eyes to fumble the pass. That'll be the end of the half. 1-0 the score of the Philosophers song in the lead. It'll be 10v10 on the... well, will it be 10v10? No, it's going to be 10v11 on the pitch. So one-man player advantage for the Lizards going into the second half of this ball game. So Chaos Chosen definitely at their weakest at low TV. This is a team very similar to a Lizard team. Very difficult at low TV because you just start with no skills. I think the Lizard team has it a little bit easier, not just because they start with the skinks that have dodge, but the skinks are also really, really fast, right? MA6 is great. They have dodge, they're stunty, they can get to where they need to go. Chaos a little bit harder to get started here. In the old version of the rules, once they got started, they were incredibly obnoxious. Claw, Mighty Blow, and an old skill that's no longer in the game, Piling On. That combo was absolutely nightmarish. Here's kick. Oh no, we got the timeout now. So we're going to be down a turn. 7 turns for the second half here. The Purple People Eaters to start the second half on turn 10 after the timeout. Shallow kick here. Kick to the opposing 8-yard line at center pitch. I would not have gone toe-to-toe with this Crocs, I think. I want nothing to do with it. 2-9 blitz on the right side here. Gets the knockdown on Kent. The number 2 rookie Saris. And now a 2-die against Schlegel. The left defensive end gets the knockdown here. Eenie on the block. Wow, that was quite a kick. I don't know, man. It looks like Quali, the number 3 journeyman here, got hit by the Saris' head. I think he needs to roll an armor break too. So the Purple People Eaters here on offense being pretty aggressive as well. Now going for the ball pickup. Works out. Has some protection in front of the ball here. Needs to be a little careful of these skinks perhaps breaking free. But you can see that they've covered at least with 1 tackle zone, right? They've covered all the spaces. So it's not going to be a free movement to the ball carrier. Today's a weird day. Today's a day I felt like I should have been doing something, and I didn't. I played video games. I don't know what I should have been doing. I don't think there's anything I had to do. 2-die blocks against Mini. That's not going to work out here. He's just going to eat that. And gets stunned. Or gets A-stunned, I should say. Yeah. Has to eat that. Doesn't want to spend the reroll, especially with Loner in play. Turn 11 now for the Purple People Eaters. At least he got a stun out of it on the trade. Purple People Eaters, they look like they're going to start moving down the right wide zone. If they do that, they have to be a little bit careful. We saw Philosopher's Song. Move the ball, try to control center pitch because it gave them so many movement options, right? Well, the similar thing applies here. So moving over into the right wide zone, if you commit to this right wide zone, sure, you can move forward, you can move to the left, but you can't move to the right. You've limited your movement options, which means there's less space that the defense has to defend against, and they can start to descend on your offense and really encircle you and make it a real tough game for you to move that ball forward, especially if you're not a passing team. Chaos is not a passing team, so you don't really have to worry about the pass too much. Iron Cynic says, half of me wanted to do nothing tomorrow with Father's Day. The other half really wants the kids to get their room cleaned because they are disaster areas and they are young enough to need a lot of supervision. Well, if it's Father's Day, you could probably like request it, right? But yeah, you'd have to monitor it to make sure it happens. But happy Father's Day. Turn 11 out for Philosopher's Song. Oh, failed that boneheaded roll with the Crocs, so the Crocs is going to remain prone here. Two-die block over in the left wide zone. Gets the knockdown. Still just the one-man player advantage, right? Yeah, just the one-man player advantage for the Lizards. Ellie Rudin says a 3-year-old does a terrible job of cleaning the bathroom. An 8-year-old with 5 years experience does a decent job. I've always been a pretty clean kid, I think. Yeah, so these two skinks in the secondary are going to move in front of the ball. Today block against Ugba, the number 6 rookie beastman. He's going to get pushed to, well, I don't know where he's going to get pushed. He's going to get pushed back into the corner here. And now Tudai against Ugbo once more, and again it will be a push. So he'll get pushed probably back a space. Not probably, it's the only space he can go. Iron Cynic says my wife is fairly disorderly, so it's hard to fight her and the kids. It's unfortunate. I'm quite tidy, I think. Takes the 1 die against Ugba. Trying to knock down this beastman. Can't do it. Turn 12 for the Purple People Eaters. So they could freely run down the right sideline, but I don't think they want to do that because then they will definitely get stuck. We'll see if they try to fight for position over here in the right wide zone, or maybe they retreat and regroup back at center pitch. Turn 12 now for the team. 2 die blitz against Plato gets the POW. Looking for an 8+ against the Chameleon. Breaks armor. Just gets a stun out of it. Iron City says she doesn't think she's disorderly, but the difference between our premarital apartments was pretty stark. I don't like disorganization so much that when I move, like I moved into this house, I don't know, 4 years ago at this point. I don't know, but when I moving depresses me because everything is disorganized and like things are everywhere, and it feels like you'll never get things put in their place, and it won't feel like you're home, and you won't know where things are, and you get frustrated. You're like, oh, where's the soap? You know, it's like, and when I look back on it, I hated it, and I was like, I thought to myself, it took forever to get everything, you know, put away, but it didn't. It only took like 2 months. It wasn't that long, and that's including like I'm a toy collector, and that includes like setting up the showroom and stuff, like all the stuff that matters the least. But I hate it. I don't like mess. Well, that said, I mean, there's times where there's just crap all over the living room. Like I'll get packages and I'll just throw them on the couch, or I'll have books splayed out or something, you know, and they'll sit there for like a week or two. Dude, I block against Zoran here, the number 5 beastman, on the right side of this this contingent at center pitch. Get a push, or gets the knockdown out of this. Elden Bruno says, I can't even clean up without losing track of what piles everything's in. My house would give you highs. Alright, Cynic says, she's not too bad. We moved from Maryland to New York years ago. We had shit packed weeks in advance. Several years ago, we moved her brother and wife. I showed up to help day off, and almost nothing was packed. Ooh. Ooh. You're from Maryland. Oh, that's cool. I'm from Maryland as well. Tudai uphill with Socrates going after the ball, gets a push out of it. I just found out today that there's a Maryland toy fair or toy show or something. It was today, so I missed it, but apparently it returns in November. 2-die block against Eni gets a POW. Oh, have we talked? I'm sorry. I forgot. I apologize. $5:33 left on the bonus clock here for Philosopher's Song. And that'll be it. Turn 13, fourth and final quarter begins. The Purple People Eaters have the ball currently on the opposing 2-yard line. They are marked by a ton of lizards. Electric Smith says, I just learned there's a Maryland Toy Fair just now. Yep, so did I. Today, anyway. 2-die blitz to get the turn started. Gets the knockdown on Kant. And now 2-die on the Crocs gets a POW. Well done. Yeah, whenever I, like, if I have to move going forward, I did this moving into this house too, but like, I'm just gonna hire movers. Like, I'm not gonna deal with it. Double skulls here. So like, I hired movers, and I packed certain things that I cared about, but then they packed everything, they moved everything. It was so nice. It was like you just don't have to worry about anything. It was a little annoying because when it came time to pay, their like credit card machine wasn't working, and they're like, "Oh, just call us tomorrow and pay." And I was like, "Okay, sure." But I got a call early that morning from the company, and they're like, "You didn't pay yesterday, and you need to pay." It's like, relax, man. I'll pay. It wasn't my fault. 2-die block against Socrates is not gonna do it. Is a reroll gonna be spent? It is into a push. When I moved out of my apartment, I mean, this was an eternity ago at this point, but when I moved out of my apartment, I had like a couple of months of like interleave time, right? Like I still had a couple of months left on the lease. So like I moved out, and then I was going to clean it up toward the end of the lease, and it was the summertime. And so I turned off all the appliances because I didn't want to get charged, right? And I walked in to clean up the apartment, and there was an awful smell. It was like the smell of death, of actual death. And I'm like, what is going on? So I trace it back to the freezer. I try to open the freezer. I can't open it. So I yank it open, and this like translucent yellow alien goop like peels away from the door. It turns out I left a half gallon of ice cream in the freezer, and if you leave it in an unpowered freezer for 2 months in the summer, it turns into gelatinous goop that smells of death. It was awful, so I had to clean that. Yeah, it was, oh, it was disgusting. Finally, the Crocs are going to stand up here on the blitz, gets a push. So now the Crocs will mark the ball carrier on the left side. So now scrum forming around the ball carrier here on turn 13. 3 turns left for the Purple People Eaters trying to get into the end zone here. To their credit, they've been hanging on to this ball all half. Been very aggressive. I wasn't so sure about the strategy, but so far so good. Was it worth the savings of not running an unopened freezer? No. Genuinely not. No. That mess was such a pain to clean up, and it smelled repugnant. Nope. Nope. I would have gladly paid whatever electricity it cost. 1-die block on Mo. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. It is going to be a grueling fight here to get this ball free and into the end zone. Even if they break free, remember that these skinks have the speed advantage. You're not going to be able to get away from them. Turn 14 for the Purple People Eaters. Two-die block on the man. So I built a new computer almost a year ago at this point, back in last September, I think. And it heats up this room, my office, so much. It is so hot in here. So I set the thermostat in the house to 22 degrees Celsius, so 72 Fahrenheit. Whoa! Armor break on the Crocs. Big armor break here. The stun. So this Crocs, strength 5, can't really hold the field here. Will be out a turn, and then next turn it's 3 MA to stand up. They'll probably stay right where they are, which means they're only going to be effective for 1 turn. And if the Purple People Eaters have their way, they're going to be down by the end zone, which means that Crocs is effectively out for the rest of the game. And if not, then Spire's just fine with that. That means he'll stop the score. Yeah, I keep it at 72. But in here, it's 25. So 25 is 50, 77. 77. Yeah, so it's 77 in my office right now. So I could just turn the thermostat down colder, which I'm not going to do. Or figure out something. I don't know. Turn 14 now for Philosopher's Song. Beat out 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the stream. He says there's something wrong with you. Is 72 too hot or too cold? Oh, 72 is just right. Iron Cynic says, need to keep drawers closed, shrink wrap them. Need to keep padding furniture, shrink wrap it. Need to keep pieces of something together, shrink wrap it. Too hot? What? I have a friend that had kept their house at like 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which I didn't mind, but that was a little cold. Warmaster, welcome to the stream. Warmaster says, 50 to 60 in your house? There's no way. 78 is hot. That's hot. Warmaster says, I'm spoiled. I put my temp at 70. I didn't have AC when I was a kid. Oh, that's unfortunate. Rush blitz to get the pow on Mo. Gets the knockdown here. We'll follow up, and that's another mark on the ball. 2 marks on the ball right now. Iron Cynic says, my miserly wife would kill me if I set it to 68. 1 die block on Meanie. Gets the knockdown. 3 marks on the ball. Great armor break, too. Wow. And now the 2 die on the ball carrier takes the both down result, knocks the ball out. What a great action order here by Spire. Gets the mark here. Then gets the mark on the left with the Saurus to make that a 2 die block with the Skink. Took the both down, said that's fine. I just don't want you to score. Get the ball out of your hands. Thank you very much. I mean, I use fans, but that's 60 is very cold. T-Baggin says, high-fiving my fellow 78ers. 78's pretty hot. But good for you guys. 50-50 pickup recovers the ball into the hands of the chosen blocker here, but that's an MA of 5. Has to end this turn in scoring position. in order to tie this ball game. Iron Cynic says, keeps you skinny to keep it cold, shivering to keep the calories off. It's a diet plan. Oh, what's the play here? They've got to end in scoring position. Does that mean Zoran's going to move down pitch? 2-die block, Mini against Schlegel gets the knockdown. So it's freed up. Oh, no! Is that the ball game? I don't think anyone's left. That's the ball game. So turn 15 for Philosopher's Song. The Purple People Eaters will not be able to get onto the board. So the Purple People Eaters just trying to stop a score, it seems, and keep this at a 1-0 ball game. Another boneheaded failure by the Crocs. Spends the reroll, got through the loner roll. Nuffle was having none of that. Knocks the ball out of the hands of the chosen blocker. Turn 16 for the Purple People Eaters. So the Philosopher's Song is going to win this one 1-0. To close out week number 1. Very well played by both coaches. I was very interested in this matchup to see how it's go. This is a lot of fun. Sano's debut in the league. Can't wait to see where they take this this Chaos team. There's that 3-die blitz. 3-die blitz against Quali, the number 3 journeyman. Only gets a dodge push out of it. Oh, taking marks in the final turn. I wouldn't take these marks. I'd just keep my players safe. I'd just say, you know what? Game's over. I don't even want to tempt fate. Three plus pickup. Didn't declare a pass. Won't get any SPP out of this. Turn 16 now for Philosopher's Song. Final turn of the game coming up. The way this competition is formatted is a divisional. There are 3 divisions of 9 teams in each, which means every team will play 8 games across 9 weeks. One team has a bye in each week. The top 2 teams from each of the 3 divisions, as well as the 2 best placing teams between the 3 divisions besides the top 2, will advance to the top 8 in a single elimination bracket. Plenty of weeks left to go here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. Croc loves the crowd. Yes, he did. He was done like halfway through that half. All right. With that win, Philosopher's Song's going to finish out the week in 4th place here in Division C. The top 4 teams all winning their games here in week number 1. Very well done. Yeah, GG to both coaches indeed. That was a lot of fun to watch. And that's going to do it here for week number 1 in the Spike Magazine Trophy. Again, we have 8 more weeks of regulation before I cut the top 8. Starting tomorrow, probably starting in 5 minutes, but starting tomorrow, coaches will begin scheduling their week 2 games. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel, Play Blood Bowl. Man, this game is a ton of fun. Even when half your team gets murdered, like mine did today. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam via a game store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until week 2, everyone, take care. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to the coaches for playing tonight, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening.